Hi, everybody, and welcome to our Awakening to the New Golden Age series. Every day at 7 p.m. South African time or Greenwich Mean Time plus 2 hours. And we are really steaming ahead. We've been having some fantastic discussions on all sorts of things, from growing your own food to being sustainable, anything to do with transformation, ascension, December the 21st, what the Mayans had to say, non-viruses, non-vaccinations, the truth behind a lot of things that are going on. And the last 3 recordings, I must say I haven't been able to post, just simply because they contain information that will either close my website or my YouTube down, and I don't really feel like having that. So stay tuned if you want to find out all info, come in. This evening we're talking about gentle stuff in the sense, and so I'll definitely post it. So welcome. It's always awesome to see you. And I see, wow, some of my oldest friends. That's amazing. So at this time, we are definitely reacquainting with many people from around the world, people that we've known that we haven't kept touch with, and it's a good idea to do that because we want to keep in with the people with high vibrational space, the people whose souls are clean, are developing, and people focusing on transformation right now. And I'm sure you're going to find the same as me, but I'm a little bit over the 3-dimension. I'm a little bit over the stories. I'm a little bit over the negativity. I'm a little bit over the whodunit space, and the idolization of politicians and kings and queens. Definitely over the fast food, the toxic food, the toxic stories, if you like. And really only concentrating personally on anything that's going to raise my vibration. That goes from my foods, my thoughts, the people that I'm mixing with, the clients that come and see me. I'm really working with them to awaken those that want to, obviously. They all do. And using the right products, the right nutrients, right? The almost gold, the energy capacitor, the microbiome reset, the microorganisms, oxygen on every opportunity, very high nutritional, vibrational foods like my stress defense shield, brain fuel, etc. Making sure that those are inside. Lots of oils, flaxseed oil, cold pressed coconut oils. We need those. We need them for membrane potential. Getting my enzymes in, and that's mainly through fruit, pineapple, pawpaw, depending on your blood group. Very important source of enzymes, and really just focusing on the whole foods and eating very, very lightly, because if you want to transform and ascend right now, we really do need to focus on fasting, basically. And I'll talk a little bit about that after we've talked about the elementals. And one of the reasons for bringing the elementals in is that we need to be operating from an interconnected, interdependent space where we are taking cognizance and are in tune and have joined forces with the soil, with nature, plants, animals, ourselves, and the cosmos. Sorry. And what we're wanting to do there with the soil, just hold on, I've got a call coming through. What we're wanting to do there is put our feet on the soil, put our hands in the soil, put the seeds in our hands, put the seed in our mouth, so that the intelligence of the seed can, like a computer, work out immediately what our excesses and what our deficiencies are. And in that way, we can grow food as medicine in for the highest possible space and with the highest possible energy ever. And when you walk on the soil near the plants again are reading your vibration. And also from the soil, you are picking up the microbes that are in the soil, and minerals and your body, just through its receptors, through the skin, is just absorbing and becoming more whole, and also picking up the electrons from the earth. Remember, the earth, the soil is negatively charged. It's a negatively charged colloid. And it needs to be like that so that when we feed it, and we feed it with calcium, magnesium, potassium, and all the wonderful things that you find in rock, volcanic rock dust, kelp, whatever you're feeding your plants, the soil colloid that's negative can attract that calcium, can shift it from inorganic to organic form, and the plant can absorb it. Right? So it will take, let's say, limestone, which is an inorganic calcium to us. We can't use limestone at all. By the way, the soil is not our food chain. Our food chain is plants, animals, microbes, air, sun. But it's not the soil. The soil does not feed us directly. So we got to form the relationship with it, but we don't eat from the soil. So what the plant does is it will transform the inorganic calciums, magnesiums, potassiums, etc., into an organic form, or it'll absorb it, put it in the organic form so that we can have it in our smoothies, for example. We can have it in our salads and in our veggies. It's a very, very important aspect, not to eat directly from the soil. Even if you took paramagnetic rock dust, for example, it doesn't get absorbed, but you're not taking it as nutrients. The plant will definitely absorb the volcanic rock dust, but it will shift it into the form that we can then absorb it and metabolize it, absorb it and digest it. And it's of such a high frequency that the electrons are very, very, very tightly bound around those, the calciums, magnesiums, potassiums, etc. So we do need to feed the soil with very high vibrational nutrients. And then when we eat that plant, we've created more intelligence in the plant plus a higher vibrational plant, and that energy will then be ingested by us. Okay, so this whole thing is about an energy chain. So we need to form that relationship with the soil again, all over again. And this brings the question in about aquaponics. All right, and I get this question all the time, because aquaponics, you're growing plants above the ground, first of all, in water. Now, unless it is an algae, which naturally accumulates on the top of water, you are interfering with nature, because the roots need to be rooted. Otherwise, you're starting to eat plants that are too airy, too airborne, and not enough groundedness. So you will end up being airy and not grounded. Okay, we've got to understand this. We can't interfere with the laws of nature like this. Okay, so I understand if people are starving and that's all they've got and they've, fine, that's perfect. But if we really want to be authentic, organic, original humans, we need to grow our plants and eat out of the soil. Right, so simple. It's very, very, very simple. It just makes sense. Your gut feel knows this. We then also need to form relationships with nature and the plants. And when we go and harvest our plants, to say a small kind of thank you out of gratitude that the beans grew for you, or the kale, or the celery, the radishes, or the rocket. And it's a festival. They've fruits from earth, gifts from heaven, in deeds of sacrifice to mankind given. In peace receive a healing leaven. That is a prayer my children and I said every night when they were here and little, just in reverence for the plants and animals and nature in terms of feeding us as humans. See, so we can be reverent about what we're doing. And it's going to make more sense to you as we move up and we raise our vibrations, because we need this interconnection. Okay, it can't be reductionist. We need to be working together. And I'm going to speak to you a little bit about nature spirits and the elementals in a moment, and just spark a bit of inspiration and imagination, and you to seek some more knowledge on this. So I'll do that in a moment about the elementals. But just to say also the relationship with animals. Now, I speak a lot from Rudolf Steiner, because Rudolf Steiner is somebody that when I'm looking for truths, I go to, and when I find truths in other places, I find the truth is there as well. So everybody has their go-to kind of thing. So that's just one of them. And so this is when I first came into contact with the 4 kingdoms, the planting of my own veggies, the understanding biodynamic farming, and the link to the cosmos. So no other ones, in other words, organic farming, permaculture, crucine, that actually take direct cognizance about the cosmos. The sun and the moon and the planets are forming an arc over us every single day. We place our beds north to south. Whether you're in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, you need to place your bed facing that way, because you're going to have maximum exposure to the arc. Sorry, what did I say? You need to place your bed, east to west to maximize the arc of the sun. East to west, all right? Or west to east, it doesn't matter, north or south, because then you're maximizing that arc. And then you're going to grow the healthiest plants because they will have absorbed the most of the photon light, etc. So the placing of the bed is very, very important, and obviously the making of the compost. And we'll be doing more and more about that. I'm going to be doing some like three 1-hour series, 17th, 18th, 19th, probably 21st of December too, so that we can really, really come to terms with this magnificent transformation right now. So the animals have got a very important part, and this is, as I said, speaking about Rudolf Steiner, because what they will do when they make their compost is they will take the horn of a cow that's died, and they will stuff the compost, this beautiful golden black compost that they make, into the horn and bury it in the autumn and dig it up in the spring. And that time, the cosmic forces, the nematodes, etc., have also gone through it. And they also put in very strong herbal preparations that have got silica-containing properties for the rigidity of the plant and the uprightness of the plant, to absorb more sunlight, more photons. So it's a very scientific approach to growing biodynamic vegetables, but it makes perfect sense, because what we are doing is creating a higher and a higher intelligence in the plant, right? And that plant is growing with us. So if we're eating shop-bought food all the time, remember that those seeds are being planted by probably a machine or by other people. So that seed is growing as food for them, not us. So we need to get back to being our own doctors and feed ourselves. And the animal kingdom also, they will use the gut, the intestine, and they will put also compost and things into that, hang it up in a tree, and also allow the cosmic forces to take place. And they've got very special preparations that they throw in the air above the plants, by the way, springtime, harvesting time. And there's also these dynamic preparations that get put into the compost. And I do teach on this, so it's amazing. And you can get hold of any of these preparations, by the way, from your biodynamic association, whichever one is closest to you. They will make them for you. And there's a beautiful one that comes up round about Christmas time to New Year. It's called the 3 Kings preparation. And just Google on that. It's amazing. I put it on my plant. And how they do it is they grate a branch with leaves and a big bucket, and you mix it, and it's all about the vortex. So you'll create a vortex clockwise, you'll create chaos, and then you will get the other vortex going the other way, anti-clockwise. Create chaos, then you do a vortex going this way, clockwise. Chaos, and you do the vortex that way. So you stir it with the wooden stick. And then you've enlivened the preparation, and then you dip your branch into it with the leaves, and you flick it onto the plants, onto the trees, everywhere. And that is how you apply these preparations. It's too amazing. And then you see the element. Well, you see the elementals anyway, but you really attract them. You attract huge amounts of elementals, and I'm going to be speaking about that in a very short moment. So we need to form the relationship with the animals as well. Also our domestic animals, and, for example, in India, the cow is really, really revered. And, the important part that they play in the whole dynamics of being integrated and interrelated as one of the kingdoms. And then, of course, our interaction with humans. And this is where the lies, the deception, the illusion, the distortions, etc., really do take place. Because up until now, we can depend on what we've talked about. But by establish our own intelligence and getting to a high level, we will perfect the discernment, because our gut feel will become in tune. And as we've cleared the body, the mind, the emotions, and the spirit, we just reach higher and higher levels of discernment, and we're able to see a deception before it comes, towards us. So we need to, obviously, we're all aiming to get to those higher and higher levels. And I will talk about the transformational powers of fasting towards the end of today. And then we need to also revere the cosmos. And a lot of you know me, I speak a lot about the science behind astrology. Right? I'm not interested in the belief, because we are moving into the age of Aquarius, which is knowledge-based. What you measure is real. So in astrology, we can see the alignment. If you go from one astrologer to another, the astrology is there. If you look in the sky, it's there. So it's not hidden. So those aspects, the transits, like right now, regardless of whether we had lockdown or not, we would be in transition as humans, all right? And in fact, probably the lockdown is catapulted us into more of a higher transformational space. Thanks for the lockdown. I'm just saying, without getting caught in the drama, because that drama is a distraction. And if you do get caught in it, as I've said before, you get stuck in the third dimensional revolution. You don't come out of it. You stay there. And that's just not good enough for me. You can stay there for so long that you actually become 3D retrograde and you devolve out of it back to 2-dimension. And I think we've got this far. Nobody really wants to do that, eh? So we need to bear the right magnetic spin, which we measure on our quantum device, remember? Left and right, positive, negative. And we want to be evolving out of it. And many of you that listen in are and have evolved out of it. We need to be in 5D. We need to get real. In 5D, there are no shadows. I'm looking at my garden on a day-to-day basis. It's transforming in front of me. The light is transforming in front of me. I'm noticing myself transform as well. Those trivialities that I would normally get irritated by but do nothing. I'm seeing them, I'm identifying them, something's happening and they've gone. I'm not holding on to it, I'm not reliving it. Should I have, shouldn't I have? All right, so we're just selecting, deselecting, using discernment all the time and not falling prey to the lower astral part of our soul, which is all about those lower emotions. And we're just driving forward all the time. We've been talking about creating your golden age, the 12 strains of the DNA, which we have. We are the creators. We are the supreme power on the planet, as opposed to these negative energies that are coming in to distort us and distract us. They're doing that because they know we are the most powerful. We are. And they don't have 12 strains of DNA. So I've talked about this in different dimensions, and you will find yourself, as you clear out, floating in and out of these dimensions. We already are, but you'll be conscious of it, far more conscious of it. Okay, and be able to operate more into it. And this is where we're climbing to and where we're reaching to, this optimal, maximum space. And beyond 5D, don't even put the ceiling on. You want the most benevolent timeline for yourself. Don't put a lid on it. Okay, so because I don't really know who you are, you don't really know who I am either. And I hope I know who I am, put it that way. But for all we know, we could be more special than we know. So let's manifest that, let's believe it. The bottom line about all of this is believing it. You need to believe your vision, believe your decisions, believe what you create, and it will happen. Most of us will dream it, visualize it, but not believe it. And therefore we don't manifest. If you look at the youth today, and I'm talking about 18, 19, 20, 21, those children. Yes, the millennials as well, but the newer ones. They are wired completely different to us. They do not have fear. They are not concerned about money. It flows. It's an abundant state that they live in. They're not hung up on the things we hung up on. It's just too incredible to watch. Any of you have children, you'll know what I'm talking about. They're wired with the new consciousness. So really be with them, soak it in, and learn from it. So that's where we can unlearn the old negative patterns and leave them behind. Okay, so I think that's good to observe too. Really, really, it's amazing. So we're wanting to, if fear comes to us, we will see it, recognize it immediately, and shift it into courage to move forward. What can I take from this? What can I learn from it? What is the gift? Let me with courage move forward, step forward. We have to let go of the self-doubt. Okay. Not good enough, not strong enough, too fearful. We're going to reach that maximum potential of ourselves on every level. And I'm giving us skills. So one of these skills is to get completely interconnected, interdependent with nature. The soil, the plants, animals, ourselves, and the cosmos. Right. And that's going to help, that knowledge, that shift. So all of these things are doing is helping us with the unfoldment of our DNA, that golden mean. And the shifts are incremental as we move down the golden mean. And we help ourselves, we help others, we help collective transformation. And you can do that because whilst you requesting the most benevolent timeline for yourself, do it for humanity, do it for the planet, do it for the soil, the nature, animals, humans. You will be surprised at how light you feel. And any moment in the day where you do get sidetracked, stop and go and do all the clearing. Do it. I've talked before, but it's just okay. Anything to do with darkness, from this lifetime, past lifetimes, interdimensionally, going into the future, wherever you want. You can request that the dark leaves, goes outside and disintegrates. Just do it. You will feel amazing. Okay, so we really, really, really are aiming for the highest possible potential for all of us. And we have the earth moving with us. We have the sun moving with us with the solar flares, activating our DNA. We have nature moving through with us. And we've got this solstice that's moving through. Okay, so what we're going to focus on now, there's a very nice book, Nature Spirits. And I'll put it on the group just now. And it's got Rudolf Steiner roots. And remember, Rudolf Steiner studied Goethe. And both of them spent a lot of time in nature, understanding herbs, understanding flowers, understanding the cycles, the nature, the astrology. So I don't know how many of you in, just want to see what these people are saying. Shame. So my friend from Canada can't hear me, but I think you can all hear, hey? All right. I'm going to record this. Well, I am recording anyway, so I can send it to all of you. Right. And then I just want to also, while you're here, before people go, I just want to put the WhatsApp group link on here so that people that are listening in can come in and join the group. Okay, let's do that. There we go. All right, so those of you who are not in the group, Amandine, I'm seeing you writing in there. Please join that group and then we can stay really in close contact. Okay, so we're talking about nature this evening and elementals. I don't know how many of you have seen them, are aware of them, have felt them. Maybe they've spoken to you, you've spoken to them. Now, there's all sorts of them that have been frozen in ice that where the ice melts, they come out. There's all sorts of books that have been written about it, but the main elementals are the air elementals, the sylphs, the fire elementals, the water, and the earth elementals. So those are the four main groups of elementals. And the fire elementals you will see in the flames. If you look carefully, you will see their forms. The water ones you will see when children are splashing in water. If you look very carefully, you will see. You need to sit very still. The earth ones you'll be aware of when you're standing on the earth and when you're touching the earth and all of that. And then the air ones are there round about you. They forms in the air, and you often see them with specific lighting and so on. Okay, so we need to recognize that they're there and develop a fondness for them. This is what they love. So food for the elementals is our fondness for them. So when you're walking around in nature, know that you're not alone. In fact, you've got to know that you're not alone permanently. We are not alone. Right, there's other beings around us, all sorts of things around us all the time. So let's encourage them, because if you believe them, they will reveal themselves to you. Okay, and you create the right environment for them. I can't tell you how many more have entered my home since I put that frequency grid up about 2-3 months ago. I forgot about it. I forgot to be conscious of it having been put up because of, I think the lockdown and everything. And then I stopped and I looked at the obvious things. I looked at my bees. I told you before, the third hive filled after 8 years. A hive came in out of the blue. The birds have flocked to my property noticeably. It's like a little menagerie. The birds sing all day. It's like an aviary without a fence. I'm not joking. The trees have grown out of proportion. The color of the leaves has changed because I have a frequency grid that's shifting the DNA permanently. As the Wi-Fi rays and EMF rays ascend on the grid, right? So there's a round grid around my property. They get deflected, and the trees repair, and I repair, and the water structures, and the water inside me structures. So the bees want to come. That I've had beehives all over the property in any event, but we're very careful because we can't leave them in places where people are walking and so on. And then, as I say, the birds have come noticeably. The trees have grown noticeably. Now what we're speaking about is the tree elementals, because they're the easiest. They're the most easy. And you will see them also. You will see the trees also speaking sometimes when they move. You will see the elementals in the movement of the tree. So what they feed on is our fondness, our love for them. And the more you love them, the more they're going to appear, and they actually come inside us and they enliven us. So when we talk about nature feeding us, the energy of these little nature beings comes into us and feeds us. Similarly to the photon of the sunlight that we receive through our skin, through our own photosynthesis, comes in and feeds us. The nature spirits, nature feeds us through the electrons of the spirits, the elementals. Okay, so if you're walking around blindfolded, completely shut off in nature, you're missing out. They are entering you, but you're not aware of it. So the frequency is not as high as it could be. Okay, so now when we're walking in nature, even the sun has beings as well. Invite them, bring them in, bring everything close to you so that you can raise your vibration automatically without having to eat. And if I think of Leonardo da Vinci, spoke about beauty and vitality being gifts from nature for those who abide by her rules. Wow, that's amazing. Beauty and vitality. So that's not only consuming the foods and growing them, but being part of it, being part of the world of nature, part of the world of animals, part of the world of the soil and the cosmos, and the humans for that matter. So if we select our tree or select our plants or our flowers and we observe them, we look at it, we're going to be getting even more of these elementals entering us. And you know that they're singing. I don't know if you've ever heard a plant sing, and I had it on one of my phones that got taken from me. A friend of mine has got a little device, and you connect it to the earth and to the plant, and you play it through a speaker. Some of you might have heard of it already. And the sound which comes out of from these plants is too incredible. I want you to go and Google so the singing of the plants or music from the plants. And they've got little clips there. It is too extraordinary. It is like composed music that you have never heard on another dimension. It's the difference between a strawberry grown in the most wholesome, fertilized soil versus one that's grown in porous soil with no nutrients. There's a sweetness in the one that grew properly, and the one that didn't, it's a little bit sour. That is the difference in the music between music from the plants and the everyday music that we're hearing. It is incredible. So the plants are singing to us. We're not hearing them. All right, we're not actually hearing them. They're speaking to us. They're coming in and out of us. Their electrons are passing through us because, of course, they don't have like a physical form. So we can shift the earth by connecting with nature, literally, because we're raising our vibration. And every one of us that raises our vibration is raising the collective vibration of the earth. We need to know this and know that you're doing your bit every day. And it's not a few that are coming into us. It's masses and masses and masses and masses. Oh, and there's another little thing also that you can activate is when you're drinking some beautiful water, or if you can get a copper bowl and put some of your water in that you wanted to drink, and you can put more into the copper bowl, and you can offer it to nature, and you can also just flick it out and flick it near the trees and the plants, and just in gratitude for nature. It's going to really help you bond very well with the nature and the elementals. Okay, they love that. So I just thought I'd share that with you too. And, you know, then just have a look. And thank you for my beautiful messages. Just have a look at the transformational power of fasting. Now, there's just a couple of ways, and I'm going to go into fasting in great depth. But right now we should be fasting, okay? We should be on raw food. And I mean, we should be off animal food completely. All right? Talking about meat. We should be on the plant foods, because the plant foods will help us detox. The vibration of the plant food, the vibration of the sun, even infrared sauna, it will help us detox. It is all natural and nature. And sometimes more than just a water fast. A water fast can be extremely dangerous if the water is not structured. It will pull out all your good minerals. Distilled water, it will pull out all your good minerals, and we don't want that, because remember, we are electromagnetic scale beings, quantum beings. That's our wavelength. So we need to know the whole time that we're keeping that intact, and we need minerals for that. We also need proteins. So when you breathe the air, you're also breathing in nitrogen. You're breathing in protein from the air. Remember that spirulina was the first food to solidify out of the atmosphere. Spirulina is 70% dry weight protein, far more than any other protein food on the planet. So spirulina is a very good food to be eating right now. The algae, the medicinal mushrooms, which come from intergalactical places, other universes, they're not, our Earth is not the home to the medicinal mushroom, the ones that grow out of the tree trunks I'm talking about. Reishi, chaga, shiitake, lion's mane, those ones. Pollen, royal jelly, just the most highest vibrational, highest frequency food you can be eating right now. So right now, or any case, it's about electrons. The almost gold, massive electrons. The microbiome reset, massive electrons. Oxygen, it cleans you so that your body can do what it needs to do. It opens up the cell membranes, etc., so we can do proper cell division and have high energy levels. So oxygen is our friend. It's our breath of life. We have to. I used to say oxygen is king. Then I thought, well, hold on, maybe I'm idolizing the king. So I don't say king anymore. It's just tops. All right. All of these things are tops. I can't rate one more than the other. And the flaxseed oil, critically important. There's nature again. So if you really do want to fast, if you want to do water for a couple of days, I would suggest get hold of spring water, because that is dynamic. I call mine miracle spring water because it does perform miracles. You can detox literally on 2 or 3 liters of that a day, no problem. But that will penetrate you, and it's got life force. It's got electron spin. So it's going to enliven you and clean out, enliven you and clean out. You can fast on almost gold alone. It's got electrons. It's going to feed you. So electrons of different forms. Electrons don't have to taste nice. Sun photons don't taste like anything. The nature, electrons from nature, from the elementals, you don't taste them, okay, but you feel them. So it's not actually about taste right now. It's about the spin of the electron in all the different forms so that the body can use it and reshape, transform, and raise the vibration. So you could do that, but my space is to raise the energy. So I would use something like a stress defense shield, which okay, yes, it's a 365 healthy by choice product. But why did I make it? Because it's got over 30 highly vibrational, nutrient dense foods in it. So when it comes into the body, it's kind of going out of the body. It's not your body is not using anything to digest or absorb or metabolize it. In fact, it even starts getting absorbed from the inside of your mouth, the spirulina, within seconds. That's blue-green, chlorella, and spirulina also. Spirulina is a blue-green algae anyway. And by the way, the ancient Aztecs built those huge warrior bodies eating spirulina and hemp seed protein, just to tell you. So there's nothing weak about eating these kind of foods. Though they were warriors, in fact, but also very highly evolved. And also, if you go to the dark rooms, like in Thailand and stuff, and you go to the dark for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, what is the preparation? To eat blue-green algae, as much of it as you can, because then it's going to transform you, it's going to transcend you. And in the dark, those electrons inside you will make DMT, natural secretions of DMT inside you in the dark room. But you see what you need to eat first. So let's take our cues from all of that. We're wanting to transform. Let's start being on these high vibrational foods, transformational foods. Right, ascension foods. I don't know what you want to call them, but my day consists of that. I'll have some nuts and seeds as a solid in a solid space, but have the almost gold in the morning. All right, religiously, I love it. And then about an hour or so after that, I will fill up another 1.5 liters or something, and I'll have microbiome reset, lemon juice, volcanic rock dust, MSM. Vitamin C from our Phyto C, all natural vitamin C's. There's about 12 of them in there. And just depending on if I need anything else, if I need something. And I mean, this is how the ancient monks probably lived. They ate what they felt they needed to keep their consciousness and to ward off, negative electrons. Call it whatever you want, but negative electrons. Radiation. And then I'll eat something when the time's right, and it'll definitely have an oil base. There will definitely be flaxseed oil or coconut oil. I will use my Stress Defense Shield smoothie, all-in-one smoothie, and I will use some form of berries and flax seeds, ground flax seeds, soaked ground flax seeds, soaked nuts, etc. And then I'll blend that up. And that keeps me going for a very long time. I'm on top form, all right? And when you're on top form, you're not going to be distracted. And the little old man or woman or child or whatever is not going to irritate you because you've fed. You've got nutrients, you've got minerals, you've got proteins, you've got long-chain sugars. They're not sweet. So mushrooms, the algae, the pollens, it's a long-chain, non-sweet sugar. And this is where everybody's missed the point. The brain needs carbohydrate. It needs it in the form of that long-chain, non-sweet sugar. Okay. When my children were small, they ate spirulina tablets. I used to give it to them. They were green everywhere, blue, green everywhere, but they ate it. They never knew any different. So if a child's going to eat it, you know that it's good. So what I'm saying is, when we're looking at the transformational power of fasting, let's get onto things that are going to raise our vibration while we're fasting, while we're detoxifying. So you can bring in detoxification herbs. I've got an all clear, for example, that will do EMF, halogens, insecticides, and chemicals, and aspartame, and all those things. You can enhance the detox. I think spring water definitely, and I think some herbal adaptogen detox is important if you're worried about your liver. Depends. If you want to, I can do a scan for you with the quantum device and tell you, what else. Maybe your liver needs a little bit of help to detox as well, or the kidney or the gut, whatever. It will all harmonize. The body's innate potential to harmonize will. And so you can use some detox herbs to do that. You can use some oxygen to do that as well. The almost will detoxify you. In fact, even raw cacao will detoxify you. Although it's a food, it's also going to detoxify you. It depends. It's dose dependent. So there's that bell-shaped curve that I always talk about. So raw cacao will be a food until that point, and then it's going to detoxify you, and your stomach will rumble and cramp, and you will detox. And that goes for anything. Anything. It's about the dosage. Chlorella will feed you, and then it becomes a detox. Iodine actually is a detox. It's not really going to feed you iodine. Iodine will detox very quickly. For example, oxygen will detox very quickly. It's not actually a nutrient. So if you take too much of anything, it will then detoxify you. So perfect. So that's what I'm saying. When we want to use this transformational power, we need nature, as far as I'm concerned, and the sun, good water, a good space. Let nature detoxify you and heal you at the same time. And then those, to be very in control of those thoughts, and the processing and the letting go of, and the thankfulness and the gratitude. So in the 5-dimensional space, it's a space of contentment, and not this constant striving and everything. It's contented flow. Okay, we've got to practice it. Feed ourselves so we can be there. Breathe in and breathe out a lot, because breathing out a lot is a huge detox. You'll be surprised at the amount of heavy metals and things that you detox out when you breathe out. But sometimes we've got to dig quite deep to get those really embedded uranium, plutonium, radiation toxins out as well. So just in summary, I wanted us to really establish the consciousness and the connection with the soil, the plants, animals, other humans, and the cosmos, because we are interrelated. Right. And I mean, there's talk about parallel universes. There's talk about multidimensional spaces, multidimensional beings on the planet, and that's, I can see that. So let's not put the cap on our transformation or our ascendance. Let's go for gold. Go for where we need to be right now, because the window of opportunity is now. We're leaving the Kali Yuga behind after 26,000 years, and we're moving into the awakening of the Aquarian age. So let's interconnect on every level positively, and do away with anything that's not going to connect us and distract us. Okay, reductionism. We want holism. We want whole food, and then work on our transformation through detoxification, but raising our electron spin and keeping our golden mean flowing. Okay, so the book title is Nature Spirits and What They Say. And it's a Rudolf Steiner book, and very, very interesting if you want to know all about the nature spirits and the beings, and the stone ones and the water ones, the house spirits, the air, the fiery ones, the paper beings. And, as with anything, be careful, because there's also dark nature spirits. They're just going to be. So you select Select the ones that are going to come to you, of course. So let me see what other questions we're looking like. That's really nice. Okay. And like I say, go and look through your phone and go and make connections with those people you haven't spoken to for a long time. And start sharing, because this is how we activate our DNA, right? So, for example, that lady, Armandine, I'm not sure if she's still in here, but I mean, we've connected and interconnected, and suddenly she's on the show. She's coming to connect with me, and I don't know if she's still there, whether connection left or not. But this is what we really need to be doing right now. I definitely sense the beings. Annette is asking me and speaking to me. Annette, when we do the quantum skier, you're not going to believe the beings that are there. On all different levels, it's unbelievable. You just have to ask. So it's a whole side, invisible part of everything that's around us that there's the screen. We haven't opened it. So we need to just expose all of that. And that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. That's perfect. Thanks, Vanessa. And yes, let's not get trapped in our very narrow belief system. Let's open it up and believe also that we are the creators and that we can use our energy positively to create the golden age for us. Visualize it, see it, imagine it, and believe that you're going to get there. Because I'm telling you, if you sit back and you believe you're going to get vaccinated, you're finished. You're finished. We've got to. The earth needs as many of us as possible. And I suspect something big's going to happen quite soon, by the way. Yeah. Anything else? Anyone? Vanessa, I want you to come in, please, and get your device as soon as possible. I'm only speaking to the people that I can see. Annette, I think it's also time for you to come in and please, and also come in and let's get you going, please. We need someone there in Denmark, anchoring everything for us as well. And I see Liesel's in our group. Liesel is already I think it's you, Liesel. Liesel is already a quantum practitioner. So thanks for coming in too. And I can't see all of you, so it doesn't matter. It's a pity, sorry, because I can't name you all one by one. Oh, there's Hemant. Oh, that's nice. Lorato. I'm seeing some more of you. Katie. Oh, that's so nice. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this evening as much as I have. Okay, because we feed off each other's energy and we activate our DNA. All right. And I'm still working out how to do the advertising correctly, because I don't want to keep bombarding people. But at the same time, I also understand people are busy. And if I don't tell you and don't remind you, I'm the same with me. If I don't get reminded, I think about it in the morning. But my gosh, we're living like a month in one day at the moment. So by the end of the day, I can also forget. So what I'm thinking, and the topics are on the website. And then I'll just post a weekly website. And then what I'll do is I'll post the recording, and then I'll announce what the next day is going to be, or the next 7 o'clock meeting is going to be all about. I think that'll work. So I'm posting the recording from the day before, but at the same time telling you the next day what's happening. Hello, Liesel. There's Amandine. What is she saying? All right. And what I need to do is just get her email address. You see what's happening, everyone. We are gravitating, and the people that we need to be with on this high dimensional space are with us. That's why I really urge you to go through your phone. And in fact, you can invite people to come and listen in to what we're doing, you know. And share. And if you're not a teacher, you can ask questions. Even if you're sitting with your friend having tea or coffee or at business, you can always ask questions, you know. Okay, so I'm looking forward to getting some feedback from all of you. Oh, where did I go? Oh, there. On the topic this evening. So if you feel like posting on our group, please post on our group. Liesel, I hope you're on that group. Just check the WhatsApp link there as well. And let's take ourselves through this and take everyone with us and let us get pulled by the higher beings as well. Exciting. Thanks very much. See you all tomorrow. So while I'm here, let's have a look at tomorrow so that you guys know at least. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about off-grid living. And I'll sneak some other very important and exciting stuff into that too. Because off-grid living, you are in power. You have the power. This is basically a pun on the words, but you are in power. So why did I create an off-grid home? Something like 10, 12 years ago, because I never wanted anyone to have power over me. When we have lockdowns, load sheddings, I never know about it. All right, because the whole road can be out. I'll know about it because they start posting in the road. So I did that because I wanted to not let anything or anyone have power over me. I've got water tanks as well. I'm going to share that with you so we can move into the next space and the next space. Okay, so see you tomorrow, and we'll talk to off-grid living, and we'll talk about empowering ourselves. I'm just going to make a note there. Or maybe we empower ourselves so much that we go beyond the need for direct food, direct electricity supplies, and we're living in a dimension here. Oh, that would be great. Okay, I'll leave you with that. Thanks for coming in. Bye.